This place, Richmond, is quite the curious spot.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gradient Events. I'm your host, Delaney Hall. Happy almost Friday. Great to be with you guys for another week. If you live in Richmond, live near Richmond, you know it is a big race weekend. The Richmond Marathon is back, and it is so appropriately called America's Friendliest Marathon. I'll bring in some photos. I feel like a lot of people know what a marathon looks like, right? But this is actually a picture of the finisher medals. One of our photographers sat down with with the medal designer, kind of talk about the inspiration. There's a lot of symbolism in these medals, which is pretty cool. You can head to our website for that full story. But all of this kicks off Saturday. So 7 a.m. start time at First and Broad for the full marathon. Saturday, 7:15 for the half marathon at 7th and Broad Street. And Saturday at 7:30 for the 8K at 8th and Broad Street. So this is a record-breaking year, history-making year for sports backers. They have more than 21,000 people running in this race, and all three races sold out for the first time ever, which is pretty incredible. So I know a lot of people are excited, including people in our newsroom. I believe we have Roland Jamal, our executive web manager Tanik is also running, I believe, and they have been working hard. So it should be a great weekend. So all of those start times are on their website. The finish line, of course, is at Fifth Street, just north of Tredegar Street. And then, of course, the post-race party on Browns Island. That's all happening on Saturday, but the actual race weekend, I would argue, kicks off today. There's a health and fitness expo at the Raceway that starts today from 3 to 7 and again from 11 to 8 tomorrow. That's where racers can pick up their packets. There's also some panel discussions, I believe, happening. So let's give you a little amp up time before the actual marathon. And I spoke to Nan Callahan. She is the communications manager for Sports Backers, kind of more about the global turnout for this race. So let's take a listen. Richmond is very runner friendly. And I was talking to Nan about some last minute kind of tips for racers and for spectators. It's a big weekend. It's going to be crowded downtown. They soft launched this last year, but they really want to get the word out this year that you can now track a runner electronically in real time on a map. So they are partnering with the RTRT app, which if you are already a runner, you may know what this is. It's basically live tracking. You can download the app. If you go to their website, they have all the directions for you. This is richmondmarathon.org. How to download the app from the App Store or Google Play. Search for the specific race that you want to find your runner in. Select that runner, and you have interactive map. You have a live tracker. This is a really cool feature, not only to follow where they are, but of course, at the end of the race, it can kind of, be chaotic with everyone finishing at certain times. So this is a really easy way to get in touch with your runner if you're following someone specific. But if you are running, you do need to register, obviously, so they can find you in said app. Also, there's, of course, a lot of road closures happening for the weekend. That is no secret, but don't be intimidated is the word that Nan used by the road closures. They are actually partnering with Waze and they have preloaded all of the road closures for the day in there, which is like pretty incredible. Let me try to see. It's also, of course, impacting GRTC. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. So they have all of these. This is a really overwhelming list. This is all of the roads that are being impacted or closed. This is kind of hard to follow, in my opinion. So if you want to get a better gauge of that, download that Waze app. They have preloaded all of the road closures, and it's a really easy way to kind of navigate around it. Because sometimes, the apps, they don't update or they don't really know what's going on. But some of those road closures start as early as tomorrow. So just be mindful of that. And if you're headed downtown for other events, which I'm going to get to in a little bit, be mindful of all of the people and all of the road closures for that too. So just give yourself a little bit of extra time. So that is the Richmond Marathon. Oh, one last thing, which I thought was amazing. So there was a wait list, as we know, because the races sold out so fast. Nan says sales for the year 2026, as in next year's Richmond Marathon, they actually begin on Monday, as in a couple days from today. So if you really were bummed out that you couldn't make it this year because you were on a wait list and you want to get in early, you have almost 365 days. You have 363 days to get it figured out, because that is going to be opening on Monday. So be on the lookout for that. All right, want to get into our list. This weekend is also Living History Weekend at the Virginia Museum of History and Culture on Saturday. This is when I was mentioning, if you're headed downtown for any reason, the History Museum has a giant banner at the top of their website that says the museum will be impacted by the Richmond Marathon. They even have a whole link to navigate around the traffic changes. But just keep that in mind. So Living History Weekend is from 10 to 5 on Saturday, and it will focus on Virginia at war in 1781, of course, talking about the Revolutionary War. More than 50 living history interpreters will kind of tell the stories of soldiers and civilians there. All of the demos and living history displays are included in general admission besides a couple of them. So I'm going to list them right here. There's highlight tours from 10:30 to 3. Those are an hour-long highlight tour with staff from the museum, and it includes replicas of the Revolutionary War military encampments. So tickets required for that. There's some music concert at 1 p.m. by the Music of the Regiment. Focus on 18th century music. Tickets are also required for that. And then interpreting independent panel discussion at 5:30. Experts will talk about how living history has evolved over the years, which is pretty interesting. Tickets are also required for that. So if you go into virginiahistory.org, that is their website. They have everything that you need and how you can buy tickets for Living History Weekend. So again, all demonstrations are included. Those 3 that I mentioned, the panel discussion, the highlight tours, and the music concert, you do need separate tickets for. So just keep that in mind. They made it really easy. You can click on what you want and you can buy them ahead of time. Each, it looks like, little section has more information about specific things that you want. So just be mindful of that, because you may need to register or get tickets ahead of time if you want to head out to that. All right. The next one is the Garden Fest of Lights at Lewis Ginter. This is one of my favorite events across the area because it really kicks off the holiday season, in my opinion. So this starts on Monday. It runs through January 4th, so you have some time. But this is a very popular event. Lewis Ginter was named one of the best botanical garden holiday lights in the entire country. So they know what they're doing. Think millions of lights across the garden throughout the area. But you're also going to find all those activities that you love for the kids. So model trains, a warming fire, a fairy village, a light tunnel. I want to bring in their website because it kind of gives you a sneak peek of what you can expect, which is pretty cool. New this year is the theme. This year's theme is the elements. So think about displays that are inspired by the different elements: fire, earth, air, and water. And love is what they're calling the 5th element. Very sweet. But for ticket times, because this is such a popular event, you have to buy them online in advance at a certain time. They have staggered start times to try to ease some of the crowds. So just keep that in mind. That big sign that says available online. You can pick what day you want to go, and it'll tell you when your start time is. Also with parking, it's going to get backed up, you guys. This is a really popular event. Try to carpool, try to ride share, do all the fun things that I try to tell you to do when it's a really packed event, but just keep in mind that there's gonna be a lot of people, and for good reason. It's very popular. Popular times sell out quickly. So think like weekends at like 6 p.m. on a Saturday are going to be a lot more popular than a Tuesday night, right? So just keep that in mind as you go. They do have some options for like food and drinks and stuff like that. So you could go and have a whole meal. There's so much that you could get into this. I could do a whole great event just on the Garden Fest of Lights, but I know a lot of people are excited about this. It's beautiful. And my husband and I go every year. It's a tradition of ours. So yeah, it should be a good one. All right. The next couple ones, I guess I should have started with the Garden Festival Lights by saying the holiday season is mostly here. I guess Thanksgiving's in 2 weeks. Merry Midtown Holiday Celebration. This is tomorrow from 6 to 9 at Libby Mill. The best address I could find was 2100 Libby Lake East Street. The neighborhood is going to be lit up for the holidays, and they are lighting it up. You'll also find free carriage rides, seasonal treats, holiday cocktails, a live DJ, and some local vendors. So they're having a little neighborhood party to celebrate the holiday season and to light up their neighborhood for the season, which is pretty cool. And lastly, the VMFA Shop Holiday Bazaar. This is the third year the VMFA is doing this, and it's actually ongoing, and it will be ongoing through December 27th. So the solarium there is just transformed into a winter magical holiday wonderland. You'll find a lot of nice handcrafted gifts there. Hours, 11:30 to 4:30. Keep that in mind if you want to do your holiday shopping. I cannot believe we are 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. It's pretty exciting, and I don't know about you, but I usually decorate for the holidays after Thanksgiving, but I think we could all use a little bit of cheer, a little bit extra early. So my husband and I may be busy this weekend. And of course, talking about all these holiday events doesn't help either. It just puts you in a good mood. That's what I have for graded events this week. Let me think. Next week, I will be, the Visual Arts Center of Richmond is having their annual craft and design. More holiday shopping. Get a head start on your holiday shopping, right? So we'll be talking about that next week. But if you have an event you'd like us to learn more about, please just send us an email at news@wrec.com. And we are also doing live interviews. We have so much planned already for November and December with all the events happening. But if you have an event you'd like us to learn more about, send us an email at interview@wrec.com, and we'll see if it's a good fit for you and for our team. And we can see what we can get going. But for now, I will say goodbye, and I'll see you guys next week.
Your home, your biggest investment, the American dream. But crooked or incompetent workers can destroy it all. That's why we're taking action, fighting for victims, helping you protect the place you love. Homeowner Horrors, 8 News investigates.